Our movie begins with Susie arguing with Ben, her ex-boyfriend, because he broke up with her without reason. She yells at him, and their breakup becomes the start of his emotional collapse and shock. This is because he was attached to her for 2.5 years. He studies in art college in his final year. He finds out that Susie managed, just 1 week after their breakup, to get engaged to another ordinary guy. He remains at the start of his collapse and depression. He wonders how his girlfriend, who was with him for 2.5 years, could move on so easily and continue her life. His friend Sharon comes to him and tells him that he too must forget her and date someone more beautiful to upset her and make her feel worthless. Despite Sharon's own failed attempts at dating, Ben considers his words seriously, especially since he was the one who left Susie because he always felt inadequate for her and thought she deserved someone better. He decided to break up with her. Ben lives in the college's student housing, in a room alone. When night comes, his regret increases and he cannot sleep. He thinks about every moment he lived with Susie, his girlfriend. He recalls when she stood in front of him, and he told her he couldn't make her happy as she wished, so they had to break up. After that, his anger toward her begins. He weakens to the point that he calls Susie to apologize for what he did, but Susie asks him to hang up because his apology no longer matters since she is engaged to someone else. After she hangs up, he goes to his room, takes out a picture of them, and keeps looking at it. He tries to get rid of the picture or burn it, but cannot. He puts it back in the drawer. Since breaking up with Susie, Ben cannot sleep at all and suffers from severe insomnia to the point that he stays awake for many days. He tries everything to sleep, but fails. He wishes time would pass quickly, but due to his condition, he feels forced to experience every second of his life slowly. Instead of the day passing quickly, he thinks about Susie more than before. He starts using his time on anything to distract himself. He returns to reading and gets all the books he wanted to read to forget Susie. But as soon as he stops reading, he sees Susie in his imagination running in front of him and laughing at him. Nothing he does in his life helps until one day he is in a big supermarket and sees an advertisement looking for workers. He decides to apply for the job to use his time for money. He meets the branch manager, Mr. Jenkins. Jenkins praises the branch and himself. Ben is distracted and not focused on what Jenkins says. He sees a picture of a soccer team with Jenkins in it and understands that Jenkins is very interested in soccer and plays it. Ben starts working at the supermarket and chooses a night shift. During the time when most people are asleep, he is awake and working at the supermarket. He meets his colleague Sharon, who works as a cashier. She arrives in a hurry because she is late for her shift and fears Jenkins since it's her second time being late. Jenkins is waiting for her and notes her frequent tardiness. Ben notices that Jenkins tries to harass Sharon. Later, Ben goes to work and sees a bag of peas fallen on the floor. He focuses on it and observes all the details in front of him until Jenkins comes and snaps him out of his contemplation. He picks up the fallen peas so customers won't be bothered. When he zones out again, Jenkins comes and hits him on the head to wake him up and focus on his work. Ben is very interested in the details around him. He notices that every employee in the supermarket has their way of fighting boredom. Sharon manages to pass time by not looking at any clock around her, because every time she looks at the clock, she feels time move slower. She hides a watch on her wrist and stops herself from looking at the clock on the wall. Barry and Matt, two friends, fight boredom by joking and playing with anything around them. One time, they wait for Jenkins to take sick leave to hold a scooter race in the store. All the workers bet on who will win the race, but the race fails because they crash into a customer's shopping cart and both fall to the ground. Ben stays awake for 2 weeks straight without sleep. He focuses intensely on the passing time to the point that he feels he can make time move very slowly, as if he controls it. He observes everyone's actions around him. He sees Jenkins try and tell Sharon about his pointless adventures. Sharon cannot stand him and doesn't want to listen. Barry and Matt joke together and throw expired products at each other. Ben manages to stop time, making everything around him freeze except himself, who can move freely among the people in the store. He starts focusing on everyone around him and chooses a specific girl standing in front of him. He finds her very beautiful, so he stops in front of her and focuses on her details. When he freezes time, he is free to do what he wants because no one can see him. Due to his love for drawing and beauty, he decides to stand in front of each girl and draw her. He goes through them one by one until he finishes their sketches. Then he goes to Sharon and sees on her face that she cannot stand Jenkins and his 4 stories. He moves Jenkins away from her and places Barry and Matt in front of him, so the products they throw at each other hit Jenkins' face instead. As revenge, when Ben wants time to return to normal, he snaps his fingers and time resumes. Everyone returns to normal. After finishing his shift, Ben goes home. His friend Sharon comes to check on him and tries to ease his pain about Susie. He keeps telling him to stop thinking about her until Ben gets fed up with his talk. He stops time for a while to rest from Sean's chatter. After relaxing, he resumes time and lets it flow. The next day, Ben goes to work and notices Sharon paying attention to him until Barry and Matt come to joke with him lamely. He meets Sharon in the changing room. She is very hungry, so he insists she take some of his food. He focuses on her so much that he wants to stop time, but because his mind is distracted by Sharon, he cannot stop it as usual. He keeps looking at her until she disappears from his sight. He feels for the first time that he likes a girl other than Susie, but he is shocked when he learns from Matt that he is dating Sharon and going to the movies with her. Ben feels upset about her and stays unfocused for a while. Sean comes to spend time with him at his apartment and notices Ben is not focused. Ben tells him about Sharon. Sean says she doesn't have to like her colleague to go out with him, and she might just be going as a friend with no feelings between them. Ben waits for the next day to hear what Matt says about his date. He hears Matt saying he had a wonderful night with Sharon, and they got together and were very happy. Jenkins comes and announces that Sunday they have a soccer match against a rival store. He tells everyone to be ready because it's a matter of reputation. Sharon comes to watch the match. The match starts, and Jenkins' team is terrible, unable to play properly. Their goalkeeper cannot even catch the ball, unlike the opposing team, which is well organized and dressed uniformly. They keep playing until the score is 26-0 for the opposing team. Jenkins tries to score a goal until the last second of the match. Matt kicks the ball hard, and it hits Jenkins' face. At that moment, Ben stops time and walks among the frozen people. He goes to get a drink and feels movement around him. When he focuses on the people, he sees one looking at him and running away. He resumes time, and the match continues. The ball hits Jenkins' face hard, causing a nosebleed. Matt has to take him to the hospital. He tells Ben to take Sharon home. They go to a cafe. Ben asks if she is really dating Matt. She says they went to the movies as friends. Nothing more. She is currently single because she broke up with her boyfriend 6 months ago since he moved far away, and long-distance relationships always fail. Ben wants to know more about her life. He listens as she says she tried to join college but failed in her studies. She has been working at the supermarket for 2 years and spends her salary on Spanish lessons, hoping the language will help her travel and start a new life somewhere else to improve her living conditions. She always dreams of traveling to far places, living and talking with new people from different cultures to learn from their experiences. She asks about his dream. He says he always wishes to be a painter with his artwork displayed everywhere and to become famous. She says she always wanted to meet a real painter because painters can see beauty in everything around them and draw it for the world to see. After their talk, Ben takes Sharon home. He is very happy to be with her. The next day, Jenkins has his neck and nose bandaged due to the soccer match incident. He announces his birthday is on Saturday and will hold a party, wanting his entire team to attend. Sharon looks for Ben to tell him about the party and asks him to be her date. He agrees immediately and says he is looking forward to the party, to be with her. Jenkins calls him to a meeting to invite him to the birthday party and gives Ben money to prepare the party and get a surprise for it. It's Ben's first time preparing a party, so he goes to his friend Shawn for help. Shawn agrees to help on the condition that he attends a party to enjoy it with them. Ben enters his 4th week without sleep. He completely forgets Susie and stops thinking about her. He stops time specifically to sit in front of Sharon and focus on her details to draw her in his sketchbook. He spends most of his time drawing her. She becomes the main reason he forgets Susie. Over time, he grows closer to Sharon. She confirms their date to go to the party together and asks him to pick her up from her house. She kisses him before leaving. This is the first time in weeks that Ben sleeps and rests after many sleepless nights. He wakes up to answer a phone call from someone asking him to display all his paintings in an upcoming exhibition. Ben feels that finally someone is interested in his drawings, and they will be shown in a real exhibition. But it turns out to be a prank by his colleague Matt. Ben, Shawn, and Sharon prepare for the party. Ben picks her up from her house, excited about the news of his paintings being displayed. He tells her, and she is happy for him because it was his dream. They go to Jenkins' party together. Ben notices that Susie is there because the guy she is dating is Jenkins' brother. Ben is not affected by her presence, but Susie seems to be watching him from a distance. He goes to the bathroom and meets Susie on the 2nd floor of the house. She tries to apologize for what she did and asks if there's a chance to fix their relationship. She tries to get close to him. Unfortunately, Sharon sees him at the moment Susie approaches him and thinks he has returned to his old love and left her. Ben pushes Susie away and looks for Sharon. He finds her leaving the house, very upset. He stops time and wishes he could rewind it as he stops it. He thinks about the right action to take to reconcile with Sharon. He zones out so much that he keeps time frozen for 2 days, unable to find a single action to make Sharon forgive him. Finally, he gives up and lets time flow normally. He goes to Sharon's house to reconcile, but she doesn't give him a chance to speak and slams her apartment door in his face. He returns, unable to sleep again as before. The day of the meeting with the famous painter arrives, and he goes to meet him. He discovers the exhibition was indeed a prank, but the painter sees his drawings and gives him an entire space for all of Ben's paintings. The greatest of them are Sharon's portraits. Sharon comes to the exhibition and is amazed by Ben's beautiful drawings and how much he loves her. When she meets him, she tells him he doesn't need to explain or defend himself because the beauty she sees is the best proof of his love for her. He notices it's snowing outside. He takes Sharon's hand and manages to stop time while she moves with him. They watch the beauty of the frozen snow together. Ben is finally happy that he achieved his dream, whether meeting Sharon and confessing his love for her or succeeding in his beloved field. And so the movie ends. Thank you for watching.